recognized symbol of excellence for your entertainment.
I'm Charli XCX.
Let's ride. Vroom, vroom.
Welcome to Machino Music, the show that puts some music in Machino music, with your host, me, BRAT Strong. Today on Machino Music, we're talking all about the new Charli XCX album, BRAT. Von Dutch cult classic. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, here we are, back. Doing pretty well. Gave myself a little bit of vacation, although I got this big blemish on my neck, blinking like a blinking beacon. I don't know, couldn't do anything about it. So it's just going to be flashing red like a red menace. So anyway, what we're doing today, we're talking about the new Charli XCX album, BRAT. Big Charli XCX fan. Been the album of the summer. Big deal, this album. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. First, actually, what I will say off the top right now is that this green, I mean, it stands out for sure, but it's just this. It's so basic, which is part of the, I guess, the art of this album. But it's just like, I don't know. It's like you could look over it, and you have to look at the back of Charli XCX. And also, when I'm talking about it here, I gotta, there's all the song titles and everything here, so I gotta open up the thing. So it's kind of hard, to we talk about, especially like, this is what it is. It's very, very basic. It's cool. I mean, you're not gonna miss it. It's so bright green, and this color has been all over the place. You've seen this green. Saw Nia Jax on Friday Night SmackDown wearing this green. So, I mean, this color's been all over the place.
The BRAT green, what does it represent? I think there's this kind of idea of making something quite disgusting and turning it into this thing that people are going to look at quite a lot and think about and ask, why that green? Why the pixelated font? Why is it so crap? I really enjoyed that some people absolutely hated it, and some people were writing these kind of essays on why it was good, and obviously that was the point of the whole thing. And
because it's just this whole thing, because it's been a BRAT summer, and there's this whole movement about BRAT. You know what, I gotta say, this is a pretty good album. Now I will say, as far as Charli XCX goes, I think her previous album, Crash, that was pretty tough to, live up to. That was a great album. I mean, not a sinker in the bowl. I talked about that on my summer music episode just before the little break here. Because that was my album I was listening to, and I almost completely forgot about this. Oh, she has a new record out, which I should probably listen to and review on the show, because, it's been a BRAT summer. But yeah, some good tunes on here. 360 kicking it off. That was one of the singles. Good tune. Really like that one. Club Classics. The next song. Actually, it's very much a club album. Charli XCX said that when it was about to be released, that she wanted to go back to kind of a sort of 90s, early 2000s kind of rave album. And I was not my singing. I'm not a rave person. I'm not a club person. But, I dig the music for what it is, and, it's not bad. It's kind of an updating of that. Whereas on her previous albums, she did kind of, incorporate different styles. This one's very much one thing, very buzzy synthesizers, big bump, bump, bump drums. It's one of those kind of real thumping albums. And 360, bump that, gonna bump that, bumping that beat. Yeah, it's like that kind of thing. But yeah, so... yeah, very much a club album. Sympathy is a Knife. Deep lyrics on that song. Whoa, but music's really good. Really dig that one. Von Dutch was the other single off of here. Von Dutch cult classic. Great tune. Dig it. video is really cool. Just her kind of running around like an airport, and she gets down, she's like bashing her head into things, and she's like a bloody mess by the end of the video. So cool, dig it. Rewind is a really cool song. It's kind of basically like you're like wanting to redo things. I mean, how many times have we, screwed something up and want to redo it? Especially with what we know now. So it's kind of that whole thing, like rewind the tape. Let's go back and kind of do it over, kind of thing. Really cool, dig it. So beautiful song. Like I bawled my eyes out for the first time I listened to that. It's just beautiful. I really dig that song. Girl So Confusing, really cool. Kind of got to think about like how it's so confusing sometimes. Be a girl. Pretty cool, dig that. Fun tune. And what I like about that, it doesn't really have any rhyme structure to it. It's almost like kind of like she's like stream of consciousness speaking. It almost kind of reminded me when I was listening to it of Suzanne Vega, Tom's Diner. That like that kind of that song, but how she just sort of just describing all the stuff that's going on in the diner. This kind of like, I don't know what made me think of it, but like just sort of the whole thing of like how it's like just no real rhyme structure, just sounds like somebody just talking, and then the chorus is like big and like, but it's a really cool tune. Girl So Confusing. Apple is really cool, dig that. Kind of got a bit more like, kind of sounds a bit like Crash, kind of like a bit more 80s synth. Think about it all the time. Mean Girls, Back to Back, B to B. A couple of other tunes on here. Everything Is Romantic, Talk Talk. I Might Say Something Stupid. It's a good song. Yeah. Likable. I Might Say Something Stupid. But yeah, it's a really good album. Do I say it is as good as Crash? No. But it is a really good, if you're into this kind of music, if you like the kind of the modern pop, even kind of retro pop, it's very much like that. I mean, it's been said of BB Rexa that she is a pop chameleon. I would say Charli XCX is up there as being a pop chameleon as well, because her albums all have these different feels to them. Like Crash almost had like this sort of 80s, almost new wave kind of feel to it, which was really cool, like synth pop. And her other albums, Sucker being another one that really stands out. Really dig the Sucker album. Has a bit of kind of a rock influence to it, like a bit of a punk, kind of power pop almost. And a lot of her other albums too, like all these, she released one during the pandemic, which was very much kind of this like different kind of like almost avant-garde kind of like artsy, like art pop kind of feel to it. So she's really kind of incorporates a lot of different sounds, a lot of different things, and this one is sort of going in the same direction, sort of like what she was doing with Crash, but it's like the next progression of Crash, where it's kind of this like more of a club record, but it's got 90s, early 2000s feel to it. But not Euro disco, like maybe Dua Lipa is kind of doing like a modern disco thing. This is just a modern, just really good dance record. It's a good put this on a party. I don't think people will complain, especially if they're dig this kind of music or kind of thing. Might be able to tune out and play some other records. Maybe it's a little more variety. But yeah, this is a good record. So if you're a fan of Charli XCX, and I mean don't overlook the snot green album art here, and pick it up and look at it and go, oh, it says Charli XCX. I've heard of it. Okay. I mean, it would help if you already know that she has new songs like 360 or like Von Dutch, like those singles, because you're not gonna, because it's shrink wrapped. It's gonna have the paper on. You're not gonna see the song titles, so you kind of have to go into it kind of knowing what you're gonna get. You don't go into this album blind, and that's probably helpful with this review. But yeah, really good. Dig me some Charli XCX. In fact, I'm going to talk about this right now. In fact, I just got a couple of new cats. These adorable little babies girl cats, Charli and Christina. Charli is named after Charli XCX, and Christina is named after Christina Aguilera because I am so gay. But yeah, they're adorable, and yeah, that's been kind of going on during my little mini vacation from doing this program, and also been trying to get some other projects moving because we never stop here at Machino Music, and we're back here with an album review of Charli XCX Brat. So like I said, if you dig this kind of music, you're into Charli XCX, check out this record, and I hope you enjoyed this. That's it for this week. Until we meet again, this is Brett Strong saying good journey.